Welcome to Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, where the Pirates and Washington Nationals meet in Game 2 of their 3-game series. The Nats held on for a 5-4 win last night. Now they've won 4 straight. The Pirates try to avoid losing for the 4th straight time. Greg Brown, along with John Wehner, saw some good things last night from the Pirates, despite the loss. And one thing in particular, John, Pedro Alvarez, and he's back in the starting lineup again tonight for the 4th straight game, 2nd straight game that he's going to be playing third base. But you did see some good things, didn't you?
Yes, it was nice to see Pedro turn a couple balls around, and it's interesting. He's starting against a lefty to boot. It's been a while, but fastball from row arc, he drives into the gap. He drives another fastball later in the game, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. And Pedro, he needed a confidence boost. Hopefully this is it. He's facing a lefty in Gonzalez tonight that also likes to throw the fastball. And I think when this guy gets going, confidence-wise, we've seen it before, he can carry a club.
He can definitely be a difference maker. So we'll look for Pedro Alvarez tonight against the lefty Gio Gonzalez. Pirates send lefty Jeff Locke to the hill. And, John, you almost hate to say it, but for the 2nd straight season, it's looking as though Locke is having the second half struggles.
And you hope it doesn't continue. Hopefully it's just a couple of 4 or 5 starts and he can turn it around. But certainly you see there the walks per 9 innings are up. The home runs per 9 innings are up. The opponent average. I think it's just a matter of the league's caught up to him a little bit. I think they're hunting fastball in against him. And so I think he needs to start working to the other half of the plate a little bit more.
Jeff Locke against Gio Gonzalez. 2 lefties on the mound tonight for the middle game of the 3-game series here in Washington, D.C. What do the Pirates need to do? They need to capitalize. Get it? Buccos and the Nationals coming up next.
Is brought to you by Toyota. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks!
And we welcome you back to Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Pirates and the Nationals, the Nats out in front in the National League East now by 6 games over the Atlanta Braves. The Pirates in 3rd place in the National League Central Division, 3.5 back of the Brewers and a game and a half behind the second place St. Louis Cardinals. Here are the starting lineups for the Pirates, brought to you by Toyota. Josh Harrison, Gregory Polanco, and Russell Martin go 1, 2, 3. And then look who's batting cleanup. Starling Marte, last 10 games, hitting at a .343 clip. Gabby Sanchez next, then Pedro Alvarez against the lefty. Jason Nix will start at second base with Travis Snyder in left and Jeff Locke on the mound against Gio Gonzalez.
Gio not having the greatest of years for ERA, 6-9 the record. This guy won 21 games just 2 years ago. But he's still tough to hit. The velocity's dropped just a little bit from last year, but still throws in the low 90s. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. This year, he's struggled with runners on base. He's struggled more out of the stretch than he has. You see the opponent average of 241. But when runners are on base, that elevates.
The Volvo defense behind Gonzalez. Speedy Denard Span in center, Bryce Harper in left field, Kevin Franzen in right, Anthony Rendon, Adam LaRoche on the corners, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinosa up the middle, Wilson Ramos is the catcher. Bryce Harper. Adam LaRoche at first. Harper in right field and Franzen in left. A correction there. A swing and a miss. And we're underway. Josh Harrison 0 for his last 12 at bats, but still hitting .308. That's fourth best in the league. 10 homers, 38 RBIs. 4 for 6 lifetime against Gonzalez with a couple of home runs. Clint Hurdle's Pirates have lost 3 straight now. Those 2 games in Detroit and last night against the Nats. Really being tested with, of course, McCutchen on the DL. Walker nursing that back situation. Tanner Roark, the fine start last night. Alvarez, you know about his situation. One ball, 2 strikes. Polanco on deck. He hangs in there, and that got a piece of Ramos. And the pitching situation with Morton not good last night. Locke, we just went over his second half struggles. Vance Worley, of course, has been a bright spot. And there was a stretch of games the starters were outstanding, giving Clint Hurdle 6, 7 strong innings almost every night. Edinson Volquez will go tomorrow. Popped them up. And the shortstop, Desmond, makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down.
As Clint would say, everybody deals with injuries. Nobody's going to feel sorry for the Pirates, and you just weather the storm. And I think the team's done pretty well, with the exception of the last 3 games, without 3 of their star players on offense.
Gio Gonzalez, his last start, he went just 4 2/3 innings because he threw 111 pitches against the Braves in Atlanta 6 days ago. Polanco tries to bunt against the lefty. .12 hits and 71 at bats against left-handed pitching at the major league level. A .169 average.
See Gonzalez throwing a lot of fastballs early. And Pedro hoping to see some fastballs. He and Snyder both lefties. Isn't that interesting? Travis Snyder, how his years turned around. Now playing against righties and lefties.
Like it's nothing. Like of course he should be in there now, right? 2 of the left-handed batters there, Snyder and Alvarez. Lefties hit .244 against Gonzalez. Righties .240. So about even splits wise. Polanco 0 for 3 last night. This road trip that started in Detroit. And Polanco looking for his first hit of the trip. 0 for 11. For Gio Gonzalez, he is in his third year with the Washington Nationals. John mentioned the 21-win season. His first year with the Nats, came over in a deal with the Oakland A's. 2-2.
Fastball just off the plate.
Home plate umpires Mark Wegner. Fastball strikes him out. 2 up and 2 down.
And being aggressive with the fastball, climbs the ladder a bit, goes upstairs right on the outside edge.
Russell Martin. So his 11-game hitting streak come to an end last night with an 0 for 4.
Russ gets up there, sees all the fastballs that Gonzalez threw to the first 2 hitters early in the count. Went up there, geared up for one, didn't get it. 2 straight off-speed pitches.
And a base hit. Looking to start a new streak. A 2-out single for Russell Martin.
Yeah, one soft, and then he tried to sneak an 0-2 fastball by Russ, and Russ turns him around.
Marte, 2 for 4, hit his 6th home run of the season last night. He bats clean up for the first time. 1 for 6 against Gio Gonzalez lifetime.
Ever since Marte has come off the disabled list, we've seen a more patient hitter. Appears the swing is shorter. Hasn't been chasing as many pitches out of the zone.
Jeff Branson, the team's hitting coach. Since coming off the DL, this is how Starling Marte has handled the breaking pitch.
What a difference. More than doubling his average, slugging up, and the chase percentage way down. And I think when the swing is short and quick, you don't have to start as early, so you do a better job of recognizing pitches, so you're less likely to chase the pitch out of the zone because you see the speed, the spin. Before the DL stint, we saw the frustrating time for Starling. It was chasing a lot of pitches, overly aggressive. The swing was long. He was a little late on fastballs and ahead of the breaking ball, but much better. I think it helps too. I mean, a guy like Marte who was struggling, you go on a DL, you get some rehab games in a relaxed environment, and then I think you can kind of reinvent yourself or find the things that made you successful.
There goes Martin, and a shot past third. Starling Marte rips it past Rendon.
And that was an off-speed pitch too. He's able to stay back on it. Pitch in a good location right on that outside corner. You see the front foot and how he's not even striding. That's another thing I noticed recently. He's just in a wide stance. He basically just transfers his weight, gets to his front foot, keeps his hands back until the ball gets there.
There's Gabby Sanchez, chance to give the Pirates an early lead. Takes a strike. Another hit for Starling Marte. And for Russell Martin, he got it going with 2 outs. The base hit to left. Gonzalez out in front, 0-2. Sanchez pinch hit last night, stayed in the game, was 0 for 2. And he is 4 for 8 lifetime against Gonzalez. One ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez with 24 RBIs, looking to give that lead to Jeff Locke, and now Ramos wants to talk with Gonzalez, who spent some time on the disabled list this season, missed a month with the left shoulder inflammation. 6-9 ERA of 4 this season in 19 starts. He has given up 7 homers. Has struck out 114. Last year just missed 200 strikeouts. Two and 2. In fact, 3 straight years right around 200 for Gonzalez. Final year with Oakland, struck out 197, then 207 with the Nats his first year, and 192 punch-outs last season. Pitching coach Steve McCatty. 2-2.
Good look there.
Oh, Gonzalez really wanted that one.
Yeah, runs it in there. And from what I understand, you talk to some of the Nats people here, they say he gets frustrated when calls go against him. And that pitch a good 3-4 inches off the plate.
And to right, going back is Harper, and he's there. Good jump on the ball. Ball lined out to right. Pirates strand a couple. And it's brought to you by Honda. Denard Span, Kevin Franzen, Anthony Rendon, 1-2-3. Adam LaRoche's last 10 games hitting over 360. Ian Desmond will follow, then Bryce Harper in right field. Wilson Ramos, Danny Espinosa, and Gio Gonzalez round out the starting 9. Matt Williams, his club 67 and 53. And that nice lead now in the National League East.
Locke 4-3. The ERA just under 4. He's won each of his last 2 starts. He's allowed 7 runs in 12 innings. But as we mentioned in the open, some struggles since the break. And hopefully we'll get a good one from Locke here tonight.
Denard Span tied for 9th in the league in hitting at .303 with a homer and 25 RBIs. Strike 1. Three for 4 last night for Denard Span.
You know, Paul Alexander in the pregame mentioned that Span has 84 hits at home. That's amazing. I think there's only one other guy that with more hits at home.
A total of 140 hits on the season for Span. It's chopped to the right side. 4-3 the put out. That was Jason Nix making the play. The rest of the Pirates defensively, Starling Marte in center. He's flanked by Travis Snyder and Gregory Polanco. Nix and Sanchez on the right side. Harrison at short again. Pedro Alvarez once again at third, and Russell Martin catches Jeff Locke. Alvarez had a couple of chances last night. One a perfect strike to second on a force play. Josh Harrison practically flawless over there at short. A couple of chances for him. Alvarez also threw a ball in the dirt. Mike Davis made a fine play to get an out at first base. Strike 1 on Kevin Franzen.
Good change up there after the fastball in.
Locke is making his first start since that crazy story on Sports Illustrated the day before yesterday about a spurned friend from his New Hampshire days. I guess Jeff Locke didn't respond the way his buddy wanted him, and then he concocted this crazy gambling scheme. MLB investigated. Absolutely no wrongdoing on Jeff Locke's part, but is that, and it's just, you know what I think it points out? So many things Major League Baseball players have to be aware of, and so-called friends, and the number of people that try to associate with big league players, and the number of distractions that could come your way.
It's amazing.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest things I've ever read.
In fact, Jeff Locke didn't find out about the whole thing until the investigation was over.
Yeah.
He was told about it.
And, especially today with the social media and all the things going around out there. And
it's just unbelievable. Hit hard and into left field. Franzen has a 1-out single. Ball rolls behind second. There's a fastball to Franzen. Brings up Anthony Rendon and gets to Rivers Casino tips to win.
You start to wonder if the league's starting to look for that fastball in from Jeff Locke. And he threw 4 straight changeups prior to that fastball to Franzen. He swung at 1, took the other 3. And so I think that's important that Locke, the breaking ball changeup come into play. Avoid the big inning. That's obvious. Limit this offense. Hopefully your team can score more. And runners in scoring position success. And Gonzalez has struggled in that area this year. League hitting over 300 against him. So if we can get some runners on, we did in the first. We're unable to cash in, although a hard hit ball against Gonzalez.
Franzen has the 1-out single. Rendon 1 for 2 with a couple of walks last night. And this fastball misses in. 2-0 on Anthony Rendon.
Jeff Locke, I mean, seen the success with that fastball when he gets it in around about high, maybe a little higher on that inside corner to righties. He gets the call. He's been so successful with it. But more and more we're seeing guys turn on it. And Rendon unable to pull the trigger. Perfect location from Locke. And so you want, teams go up there. Are they looking for it in there? Are they looking just to spin? And if that's the case and you recognize that, that's when I think you need to start throwing two seamers away, throw the changeup away, maybe flip a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Locke's second career start against the Nationals. Made a start at PNC Park in May of last year. No decision, gave up 3 earned in 5 innings. Gets away and apparently fouled off by Rendon. 2-2. 3 out of 16 in the season series against Pirates pitching. The Bucks won 3 of 4 against the Nationals at PNC Park. It was the 3rd week of May. Missed in with that fastball. 3-2. He gave up 4 runs, 8 hits in 5+ innings against Detroit 5 days ago. Walked 4. And got the W. Adam LaRoche on deck. Full count on Rendon. Chop toward Alvarez. He's going to throw to first and makes the play. And there's a play where Alvarez is on the move and throws a strike to Gabby Sanchez.
And background, and we could see it here, the Pirates fans, they were up on their feet applauding as Pedro not taking any time. Noticed throwing on the run even though he had time. No pat with the glove.
I was wondering, John, could you create a scenario for a third baseman like that where on a routine play he starts to move in just like that?
Yeah, I mean, on that, because it was so softly hit, you're going to be coming in anyhow. But on like a normal ground ball, if you could kind of feel yourself moving through the ball as you catch it, keep your momentum going, and not take that extra step when you throw it as well.
Now Adam LaRoche with a runner at second and 2 outs. He has been hot the last couple of weeks. 2 for 4, drove in a couple last night.
It'll be interesting now, Pedro getting the starts this series at third base. Now, if he gets a number of chances and he does throw the ball across the diamond
exactly
easily,
do the Pirates rethink the idea of having him play first base?
I mean, I honestly felt that maybe his days at third were over for this year at least, and he was going to go over to first base. That's before the injury to Mercer. The plan was for Pedro to go to first, but now if he handles a handful of balls here today with perfect throws to first, you're going to keep running them over there at third, don't you?
I think so. We're talking about the challenges facing Clint Hurdle. Injuries are one thing, and then this working with Pedro Alvarez to try and get him through this. And the conundrum of wanting to get him through the throwing struggles and the hitting problems, but if you don't play him, he's not seeing live pitching every day, and he's not getting ground balls every day, then how do you cure it?
Exactly. And so, and I honestly believe if he gets, 10 or so ground balls and makes the throw, I mean, it'll work wonders.
Pop up. Locke coming in, and Locke will make the catch. Not comfortably, but he made the catch. 0-0 after 1.
All on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
Pedro Alvarez leads off against Gio Gonzalez, second inning. A strike called. Two for four, couple of RBIs last night. Lays off the breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. Everything under a microscope. Every ground ball, every throw, every pitch. Pedro Alvarez.
Well, one thing against the Gonzalez, though, he is a fastball, curveball, changeup guy. Fastball in. There's a big difference, I think, facing a curveball than a slider. A slider is harder to recognize. It's harder to lay off. It's a pitch that you left on left, you're more likely to see a chase on. The curveball you recognize early. And I don't know if he throws many, if any, change-ups to left-handed batters. So, if Pedro's picking up the spin on the curveball, I mean, all he has to do is look heater, and that's what he hits best.
Well, as we see, every pitch he's under a microscope, and those last few he hasn't flinched, for what that's worth. Gonzalez will get a lot of strikeouts. And he gets this one. Fastball. Barrel Automotive League leaders stat. Talking about strikeouts, the National League leaders in strikeouts for 9 innings among left-handed pitchers with at least 100 innings pitched. Clayton Kershaw, Francisco Liriano of the Pirates, and then Gio Gonzalez. There's his second strikeout tonight. And now Jason Nix, he is a .364 career hitter against Gonzalez. 4 for 11. Pirates say the plan was for Walker to have today off after getting his first start in a while last night. Also Martin and Ike Davis. And a 1-2 count now on Jason Nix. Playing in his 12th Pirates game. Made 7 straight starts up until a couple of days ago. Ball and 2 strikes on the veteran Jason Nix. Acquired from Tampa Bay. He will turn 32 years old in 10 days. Dallas, Texas native. Gonzalez gets another back-to-back Ks.
Gets a couple chases here in the second. Pedro chased the fastball that was down out of the zone, and now Jason Nix can't lay off the curveball.
From Hialeah, Florida, right outside Miami, Gio Gonzalez, 28 years old. Travis Snyder looks at strike one. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and nobody on.
I wonder how much Gonzalez likes facing left-handed batters. I'm sure throughout most of his career he's used to facing mostly right-handed batters. before tonight. Only 86 official at bats against him from the left side, compared to well over 300 from the right side. So I'm sure most lineups are stacked with righties, and you see, the splits are about the same.
Well, so far he's liking the lefties he's faced tonight. Polanco, Alvarez, and Snyder have all struck out against him. It is 0-0. Go to the bottom of the second inning here in Washington, D.C., and we want to see how you root for your Pirates. Be our AT&T fan photo of the night. Show us how you root for your Pirates, and maybe you do it in a patriotic way. Submit your picture via Twitter. Use the hashtag #BucksFanPhoto, and we'll show them during our broadcast. A Worley fan. Vance Worley. Lots of Bucco fans everywhere. Ian Desmond. It's ball one. 20 homers and 72 RBIs for the shortstop Ian Desmond. Was 1 for 3 last night, plus a walk. Pirates have won 8 of Jeff Locke's last 11 starts. Really, when you break down all the numbers, the most important thing is W's. And he's won back-to-back starts despite maybe not great numbers. Three and one. Charlie Morton, a rough outing last night, and we'll have to wait and see what the Pirates decide to do with Charlie Morton. There's ball 4, a leadoff walk. No question Charlie Morton frustrated, not able to help his club last few times out.
Command, the big issue in last night's game.
His line from last night, that loss to the Washington Nationals. Pirates tried to come back, scored late, fell short 5-4. Couple of hits last night for Bryce Harper.
If you said at the beginning of the year, if Morton was 5-12, Lariano was 3-9, with the Pirates being in the thick of things.
Say no chance. Garrett Cole on the DL for much of the time, though Cole looks to be ready to go after his fine start last night. Garrett Cole, have to figure he will make his next Pirate start coming up sometime next week. Strike is called on Harper. Not a lot of strikeouts, but very efficient. A lot of ground ball outs. Topped out at 99 miles per hour. Good fastball. 1-1 on Harper. With Wilson Ramos on deck. Desmond has 14 steals. And they've got him picked off. If Sanchez can get a good strong throw off, he will. And Harrison applies the tag.
I don't see it a lot. The guessing game. With that runner on first against the left-handed pitcher. Just not reading the move, but just I'm going to guess that he's going to the plate. And then the Nats didn't cost them last night, but they shot themselves in the foot, making the first out of an inning with poor base running. Do it again here in the second.
Big swing from Bryce Harper. Jay Hay putting the tag on Desmond. Our Allegheny Health Network Supermo caught stealing 1-3-6. Weekly hit toward first, hugging the line. Sanchez for the second out. A two-way will bring up Wilson Ramos. Pirates will be back home Monday night. 1st at 3 against the Atlanta Braves. And Bucco game's always more fun when you bring a group along. Why not find out how each member of your group could take home a Pirates cap or have a hot dog and drink credit loaded right onto your ticket? Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or go to pirates.com/groups. Make it a night to remember for you and your friends, co-workers. 3 games against the Atlanta Braves. Monday night, 7:05. Tuesday night, 7:05, and same time Wednesday evening. Right now the Braves rooting for the Pirates. Monday night the Nats will be rooting for the Pirates. Ramos hitting .293. 1 hit and 4 at bats. And last night's game was an RBI single in the 3rd inning. He also hit into 2 double plays. Ramos, who came over from the Minnesota Twins in a deal a few years ago for Matt Capps, one-time Pirates closer. And Locke retires Ramos. 1-2-3. It is 0-0 through 2.
Set to hit here at Nationals Park, picking off Ian Desmond as one of his 3 outs in the last inning. And the Pirates, that's something they've been pretty good at this season. That's the 12th time we've had a pitcher caught stealing when you look at the technical definition of it all. And that's in addition to everything else, as I'm getting random debris thrown at me here from inside the Pirates dugout. But it's been impressive what they've been able to do. 17 pickoffs of runners they've had this season and 12 pitcher caught stealings. Now, Desmond was a pitcher caught stealing where he's caught in the rundown trying to get his way up to second base. So Jeff Bannister has a lot to do with this, and he told me knowledge is the greatest asset you have, but knowledge on paper is one thing. What his eyes tell him, that's another. He said his visuals are important, and so is the video, but it's more the trust that the pitchers have in him. He said guys have tendencies and signs in their body language, and he puts all that together and puts together the best game plan he can, talking about Bannister. He added the process has taken really about 3 years to come into play, and the results have been really good to this point. When you look at guys like Jeff Locke, Greg and John, you know, they buy into it. They work with Jeff Bannister on this, and the pitchers look at Bannister and decide, hey, we think he's going, and look at the results.
Well, he sure pays a lot of attention. Watchful eyes there, Jeff Bannister. Who was the culprit down there, Robbie?
Ray Searage. I think it was Ray Searage. I don't know. I can't even find what he threw. Oh, it was an empty Gatorade bottle he threw at me. It's all right. We'll work our way through it.
Oh, yeah.
Hazards of the job. No Somebody has to.
Foul balls, empty Gatorade plastic bottles. There's a strike 3 called on Locke, and that's 4 straight punch-outs for Gonzalez. 5 so far. Andrew McCutchen continues to take batting practice and getting antsy, to say the least, to return to the lineup. Maybe we will see him Tuesday night when his 15 days are up. On cue.
Get the impression he doesn't sit still very often.
Harrison lines it into left field for a base hit. That snaps his 0 for 13 hitless string, a 1-out base hit. Let's ask Robbie if he thinks that Kutch is getting antsy.
Well, I asked Todd Tomczyk, who works with Andrew every day, day in and day out, before the game, during the game, after the game. And we had talked on a bus right here. I said, well, how's Kutch coming along? He's like, yeah, he's coming along pretty good. You know, just had a few conversations about what Kutch has been doing in terms of rehab. I said, well, you got to know he's doing well. I said, because it looks like he's annoying you. He turns around, looks, says, oh, he's driving me crazy every single day. So I know a few guys in that dugout that can't wait for Kutch to get healthy for a couple of reasons. Maybe among them that they'll be a little more peaceful in the dugout between innings.
Yeah, that maybe a close second to the top one, of course. Get that bat back in there. Yeah, the Pirates trying to win without Andrew McCutchen and hold their own. It sure looks like it's good news, though, that he will be returning after his 15 days are up. It was feared he'd be out for quite a long time. This ball bounced toward second, and they get one on the force there. Espinosa steps on the bag. 2 outs in the third. Harrison erased. Polanco bounces to Espinosa, and 2 away for Russell Martin.
That's actually a neat little play by Espinosa, just staying back. If you come charging that ball and say you come into the grass and try to throw it to first, you might not get Polanco. And it would have been a difficult flip to get Harrison. And so, heads up play. Just let the ball come to you. Straight around the bag.
Get the sure second out.
Yep.
Polanco not much of a lead. Watch again, Espinosa.
Well, you can come and charge this and try to get it in the grass and throw off balance or whatever. And you know, Jay Hay put the brakes on, make sure he wasn't going to be tagged. And you know, with Polanco's speed, though, he's going to beat just about anything out. And that's the one thing Espinosa couldn't do by staying back, was to throw Polanco out at first. He only had the one play there at second.
2-0 on Martin. He is now 4 out of 10 lifetime versus Gonzalez.
Martin wasn't expecting that 2-0 changeup. He was geared up for the fastball.
Again, Polanco barely off the bag. Two and one. Goes to 3-1.
Gonzalez not happy with that call.
Still thinking about it. Certainly didn't get any help from Mark Wegner. A ball that could have been called a strike. And now it's full on Martin. Gonzalez hoping not to face Marte. Three and two on Martin. And walked him. And frustrated. 2 on with 2 outs. First walk for Gonzalez. And now Marte. And again, we mentioned 4 2/3 innings his last start. Just 2 runs, 6 hits, but walked 4, struck out 8, and threw 111 pitches. Gonzalez has lost each of his last 4 times out. Or the club has anyway. The Nationals have lost each of his last 4 starts. And it is a base hit. Maybe broken bat, but it'll give the Pirates the lead. Marte into left field, and he goes into second base with a double.
Well, listen to the Pirate fans. Marte looking for the fastball, gets the fastball. Been swinging the bat very well. Got in on him a little bit, but still productive shot down the line. I'm not sure he gets to that ball. Before he got hurt, before he went on the DL. I mean, his swing, there was so much length to it.
And you think a lot of it has to do with the rehabbing? There's a ground ball, base hit into left field. This should score 2. Gabby Sanchez rips it into left. It's 3-0 Pittsburgh in the 3rd. Big time 2-out hit for Gabby Sanchez.
2-out RBIs are huge. And I mentioned it. Gonzalez has struggled with runners in scoring position. League hitting over 300 against him. Gabby hit a line shot with 2 on and 2 out in the first, but it got caught out in right field. Here he gets a fastball up, finds a hole. 2 big runs.
Another look. No problem scoring Marte. Steve McCaddy with a visit to the mound. And it is Pedro Alvarez to the plate. Gabby Sanchez lined out to right field to end the first inning. Alvarez chases. Two and one the count on Pedro Alvarez. It doesn't seem like he's thrown this many. He's thrown 64 pitches already.
The first inning, he got close to 30. And second was clean. Different story here in the third.
3-1 count on Alvarez. And he chops it to the right side. Espinosa throws him out. The Pirates get 3. All right, Paul, thanks. 3-0 Pirates lead. Thanks to the base hits from Marte and Gabby Sanchez. And now with that advantage, Jeff Locke faces Danny Espinosa, to be followed by Gio Gonzalez and Denard Span. Though Espinosa is hitting only .217, he is a .299 hitter from this right side of the plate. There has been talk around Nationals camp that Espinosa might soon be thinking about abandoning that switch hitting. He has been able to do practically nothing much of this season. Decent start as a left-hand hitter, but recently has done little. 2-1 count. And a career way better average-wise as a right-hand hitter. You see much more power as a left-handed heading infielder. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Obviously, many more opportunities from the left side.
Hugging the line, backhand foul.
I don't think Espinosa was aware that it was a foul ball. He was down there giving his first base coach taps.
Did the first base coach know it?
Apparently not.
Tony Tarasco, the first base coach, was also unaware, apparently.
Well, the umpire really didn't.
Nobody helped him out, huh?
Anything.
Tony Tarasco. Three and two the count. Tony Tarasco and Jeffrey Mayer will always be
linked.
Yep.
Forever.
And here's Alvarez again backing up. A little shuffle, throws to first, low throw, but taken by Gabby Sanchez. Let's go back to the studios and Paul Alexander. All right, Paul, so that was good news last night when the Giants lost, but Paul telling us that San Francisco beat Philadelphia. That Atlanta game also involves a potential wild card opponent. The Pirates and Cardinals start the day atop the wild card standings, but now the Giants gain a half game. You see the Braves right there. A couple of strikes on Gio Gonzalez. And again, the Pirates and Braves will meet Monday to begin a 3-game series at PNC Park. Easy does it for Locke against his mound opponent.
That's the way you like it. Make quick work of that 9 spot.
Gonzalez's pitch count has mounted while Locke pretty efficient. 2 outs here in the third. You got Denard Span to bounce to second. And 2-0.
And not taking advantage. You get the pitcher up there. He's retired. Leadoff batter is going to take that first pitch no matter what. They usually take till they get a strike, but now 2-0. I don't know if you're going to have that luxury of just throwing one down the middle.
Three 3-0 on Span. Locke walked Ian Desmond to start the second. He's trying to come back and get Span and keep that speedster off the bases. 3-1 count with Kevin Franson, who singled in the first, on deck. A late swing and a miss. Very late, 3-2.
And maybe got a little help there too. Big cut from Span. Pitch down and in.
Span in his second year with the Nationals. Former Twin. Washington, D.C. native. And a fly ball to shallow left. Snyder coming in. And that'll do it. Nats go down in order. Good stuff from Jeff Locke. 3-0 Pirates. Facing Doc Gooden, hit in the head by that pitch from Doc Gooden. Hurdle was playing for the Cardinals at the time. The trainer for the Cardinals came out and he would break out 3 smelling salts to try and bring Hurdle up, and finally you see the woozy Clint Hurdle taken to the hospital. Incredibly enough, 3 games later he was back in the starting lineup. Wow. For the Cardinals. He was facing the Reds' Bill Gullickson. He said the first pitch Gullickson threw him a curveball and he said he bailed. Jumped out of the batter's box. The opposing dugout was laughing. The Cardinal dugout was concerned. They couldn't believe Hurdle's reaction. But imagine that frightening scene.
Yeah.
Hit by Dwight Gooden and down flat, knocked out. I said I can laugh about it now, but the trainer later told me after I broke out the 1 smelling salt, okay, that didn't work. The second one will certainly work. Went right up to the nose, practically stuck it in the nose. And he said, he told Clint Hurdle later that if that third one wasn't going to work, I was going to just cover you with dirt. 2-1 on Jason Nix. Gio Gonzalez faced 7 batters last inning. Nix pops it up. LaRoche for the out. Jason Nix 0 for 2. Will bring up Travis Snyder. He has taken care of each of the 3 left-handed batters. Polanco has struck out and bounced out. Alvarez has struck out and bounced to second, and Snyder struck out his first AB. Pirate fans with a yes chance. They are fired up and they are all over the place here.
Yep.
This is looks to be a sellout crowd at Nationals Park. Martina McBride, the country music star, will be performing afterward. One ball and 2 strikes. A lot of Pirate fans on hand. Brad Grants and his wife Katie. Brad is the legislative director for Congressman Tim Murphy. big Pirates fan. I know his dad, Denny, in Elizabeth Township is watching. Denny Grants. Chopped. Be a tough play for the second baseman. Espinosa will not be able to make that play. It'll be a base hit for Travis Snyder.
Boy, they do. The Pirate fans want to be heard. I mean, it's just a chopper, a base hit with one out, but they want to be heard very loud after Travis beats this out. And that's one thing you have to deal with these shifts, the over shifts, playing so deep out there in right field. Espinosa had to go a long way and make a long throw across the body.
Jeff Locke has 3 sacrifice bunts, but there have been times that Locke has gotten frustrated with himself for not being able to execute this baseball play. The sacrifice bunt. A chance for a pitcher to help himself get that man into scoring position. A couple of strikes.
And bailing away on the breaking ball. The first one was the best one you had to bunt. The curve ball starts at you. Hard to stay in there. That first one, elevated, was the one he wanted to get down. And got lucky there. Gonzalez not happy. 0-2 curveball.
And that's why he's not happy. That was strike 3. Now, why in the world would you throw anything but a curveball?
Yeah, I don't know.
Two and two. Struck him out looking with a fastball, and again Locke not able to get it done. RBI Baseball is back with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the retro 2-button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device. Josh Harrison singled his last time up. And grounds this to third for the force. 3.5 played, 3-0 Pirates. Rockies what they did to the Presidents. Knocked 3 of them down. Abe Lincoln, the only one standing. Oliver Onion, Hanna working there on Teddy. Teddy Roosevelt is waiting in the wings. It was William Howard Taft and George Washington. Teddy Roosevelt knocks over Potato Pete and wins the race. Roosevelt took down Potato Pete last night, and he is just thrilled as he wins the belt again.
How do you win the belt when you run 20 feet? He didn't start where the rest of them started.
You're saying this thing's fixed?
Fraudulent.
Strike on Kevin Franzen. Last night, Teddy. This is what Teddy Roosevelt did to Potato. Down.
I thought Pete was going to be in the DLC. I mean, that was a pretty heavy takedown. And Teddy could fly. Jimmy Fly. Superfly. Remember Superfly Snooker?
Yeah. Franzen asking about that call with the home plate umpire Mark Wegner. He's claiming, I guess, that he brought the bat back, but it's a strike anyway. And it's ball 3. Kevin Franzen. Previous couple years with the Phillies, came to the big leagues with the Giants. In the air to left, Travis Snyder back a couple steps for the first out. Jeff Locke, since giving up the hit to Franzen with 1 out in the first, has faced the minimum, allowing just the leadoff walk to Ian Desmond. Rendon bounced to Alvarez in the first. There was a chopper. Alvarez on the move coming in. Threw a strike to first to take care of Anthony Rendon. A couple of first round picks there, Rendon and Alvarez. Oh, 0-2, and perhaps Locke is starting to get that confidence back, and now Rendon going to try and slow him down.
Yeah, I think Locke's done a good job of mixing it up tonight. Got the breaking ball working, the change up.
Oh, maybe a flinch. Fastball just missed 1-2.
And Russ goes way in there.
Yeah, the home plate umpire just a bit of a flinch. Two and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he struck him out looking.
I get the impression Rendon doesn't like it in there. We saw a pretty good approach last night, taking Morton the other way, the opposite way. Locke was persistent trying to get that call on that inside part of the plate. And that one, top of the zone, right on the corner.
First fastball to LaRoche. Rendon, the third strikeout victim for Locke. And another strike. Not by much.
That's
1-2.
Impressive take. I don't know how Adam LaRoche doesn't offer at this pitch. It's in the strike zone the entire way and just runs off the outside edge.
We'll try it again. Too far wide. 2-2. Now where will Russell Martin ask for it? 2-2. LaRoche swung and missed that first fastball in. Last couple pitches breaking balls away. Want that fastball in again. Got him. 8 straight retired now by Jeff Locke in 10 of the last 11 Nationals.
It's Adrian Sampson and catcher Elias Diaz, both putting up stellar numbers as you see this season. Both guys kind of unheralded going into the season. Diaz, a fantastic arm. Neil Huntington said the best arm that the Pirates have in their entire system, and the bat has really come around for him. And with Adrian Sampson, Neil said it gives him an opportunity to get a handful of starts with Indy, and hopefully this will jumpstart Sampson for next year. They've done this with a handful of guys in the past, so next year they don't have that, quote, fresh start, if you will, at a new level, Greg and John. They want at least some level of experience so they can be realistic as to what it takes to make it at the next level. Sampson was a 5th-round pick by the Pirates in 2012. And remember, he had that no-hitter going, broken up with 2 outs by Carl Yastrzemski's grandson, ended up finishing a one-hit complete game shutout. But both guys really, give those guys a lot of credit, Pirate scouts, for these guys. You didn't know a lot about them going into the season. Now you know a little bit.
And it is good to hear that they're getting a depth at that catcher position. The other day, they picked up Ramon Cabrera off waivers from the Tigers. Perhaps that's why Diaz is promoted, assuming that Cabrera winds up at Double-A Altoona. Had been playing Double-A in the Tigers organization. Polanco fouls it away, still 2-2.
Sampson, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Just drafted 2 years ago, already to Triple-A.
Sounds like they've got an outstanding pitching staff at the AAA level. We talked with Justin Message, the pitching coach at Bradenton with the Marauders High A Ball Club today, about Tyler Glasnow and others. It'll be a tough play for Espinosa, and he makes it look easy. Real clean, quick throw. 1 up and 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Polanco 0 for 3. Bucco scored there 3 in the 3rd inning. After Polanco bounced into a force play, Russell Martin followed with a walk, and both would score on a Starling Marte double. Polanco scored on the double, and then Sanchez drove in Martin and Marte. Two 2-0 on Russell Martin. What a season he is having. Offensively, defensively. Oftentimes you get that offense, the batting average up. You get Gold Glove consideration. Of course, Jonathan Lucroy of the Brewers is hitting .304.
Yeah, I would think Russell would get a lot of consideration. I mean, he's done an incredible job. It certainly helps that Molina has missed so much time.
Now a full count.
Gonzalez still throwing pretty hard despite 91 pitches.
Draws the walk. Both free passes from Gonzalez against Martin. And Russell Martin, known as Super Russ to his teammates. And on a special edition of Inside Pirates Baseball, you'll find out why. Some of it pretty obvious, like his strength and accuracy behind the plate, but there's more to Martin's talents, both on and off the field. Explore them on Inside Pirates Baseball. Super Russ, debuting Friday at 7 on Root Sports. A high drive deep to left center field, toward the warning track, and approaching the wall is the center fielder Span, who had to go a long way to track it down. Marte disappointed.
Just missed it. Just missed it, did Marte. Boy, he's feeling good right now. Man, this is a different player since the DL stint. Gets a fastball, and I'm not sure if he got it maybe a little off the end. But Marte plenty strong. If he barrels the ball up, it's leaving any ballpark. But just misses this one, and just enough room for Span.
Marte reacts. Gabby Sanchez line drive base hit. So Sanchez has had 3 line drive at bats. 1 a line drive out, but here back-to-back singles. And the 3rd at bat of the night for Alvarez.
Pitch right down the middle. Gabby turns it around. Makes it look easy.
Gio Gonzalez, 95 pitches.
And Matt Williams, I don't think he has his full bullpen tonight. Heard him a bit on the pregame show on that side, talking about hoping that Gonzalez can give him 8 tonight.
That's
not
like
going to happen.
No way they will use Soriano. They've already been used 3 straight. And Tyler Clippard 3 straight. So Drew Storen would probably be closing out tonight. Hopefully it won't come to that from the Pirates' perspective. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alvarez struck out in the second and bounced out on a 3-1 pitch to end the third.
And gets a changeup. That's the first time we've seen that from Gonzalez tonight, to where he's throwing a left-handed batter the changeup.
Gonzalez talking to himself, come on, let's go.
Looked like he tried to change up again. Missed with it. A little bit in. Leaves that one down the middle. At that height, it could be hit a long way by Pedro.
That was the 100th pitch of the night for Gio Gonzalez.
It looked like he was saying same pitch. Nope. Another changeup.
Two-plus years with the Nationals, 38 wins, 25 losses. Still talking to himself. 2-2. Struck him out looking. Good ones. We've got the patriotic one. We wondered. Megan sent this one along. There with TJ. And Christian sends this from Locke, California, wishing Jeff Locke the best. That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
How about that? Right by the Sacramento River. Locke, California. Jeff Locke from the New Hampshire area. Has retired 8 straight. And fans here in D.C. lock it down. Lined into center field. Desmond breaks up that string.
Getting out of the way. That ball wasn't all that close, but still, you're releasing that ball some 55 feet away.
Harper tries to bunt, fouls it off. One ball, one strike.
Harper trying to get on track offensively. 6 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 216 at bats. Really isn't hitting many extra base hits either. Just 15 total of his 56 hits.
Toward left center field, Marte on the move. That ball's going to be caught by Snyder. Snyder man leaping high in the air.
Oh wait, Snidey. That was impressive. And I, like you, was watching Marte, thinking Marte was going to be able to get over there, and then Snyder, he comes out of nowhere. Well, he's played it good left field.
Left field, hasn't he?
Yep.
Travis Snyder giving up the body. Now Ramos hits this hard into center field. Wilson Ramos puts runners at first and second.
Changeup left it up a bit. And further as you get that down, if that's around knee high, he's out in front of that ball a little bit more, and they're likely to get a ground ball to the left side. You leave it up around the belt, much easier pitch to hit.
Two on, one out for Espinosa. Second time tonight that the Nats have had a runner at second. First inning, Franzen was there with 2 outs, and LaRoche fouled out. Now Desmond, who started this inning with that line drive single to center. He's at second base with the Ramos single to center field. With 1 out, 2 on. And it's 1-1. Scott Hairston out on deck. He would bat for Gonzalez. And a 1-2 count. Locke gets that call.
Good breaking ball, good location.
One ball, 2 strikes. 2-2.
You would think you'd have Espinosa looking in here. A couple fastballs and perfect time to maybe throw something down around the knees on the outer third of the plate. If he's looking in trying to pull, a good chance you get a ground ball to the left side.
Strike 3 call. 5 Ks for Locke. That will be it for the starter, and the veteran Scott Hairston will pinch hit.
Let's take a look. He decided to stay in there with the fastball and just gets the call. That pitch, a great location. And Martin makes everything look good and made that one look good enough for home plate umpire Mark Wegner.
Hairston is hitting .224. Has 4 hits and 29 pinch hit at bats. And he gets the strike on a breaking ball, and he's disappointed.
Breaking ball. Ooh. A little off the plate.
You see Martin set up initially outside and then quickly leaped in. 0-2. Martin was setting up away, and then just as that pitch was coming in, he jumps inside.
And another call for Locke, a pitch just off the plate. And, I guess Martin thinking maybe the runner at second, tipping location, and that's why all the late movement.
Martin dancing around behind the plate. Jeff Locke strikes out Hairston. Travis Snyder, the catch of the night. The left fielder robs Harper of a hit. Paul, thanks. Jeff Locke so far keeping the Nats off the board. And the new pitcher, Craig Stammen, after Gio Gonzalez went 5, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits.
2-4, 3.77 ERA. See if we can add on.
He's been a starter and a reliever. Gonzalez struck out 7 in 5 innings. Got Nix in the second. Nix has also popped up. And he's hit by the pitch. 0-2 offering. Nix handed first base.
Two-seamer kept running in. Got him in that left forearm. It's a start.
Stammen out of the University of Dayton. 6th year with the Nats. And now Snyder faces a righty. Double play ball. Routine. Two outs. And now it's Jeff Locke. Brewers and Dodgers about to get underway. Clayton Kershaw for LA against Yovani Gallardo. Paul told you about that postponement in Colorado, the Reds and Rockies. And that Cardinal Padre game tied at 4 after 4. Slapped it foul. Still 1-2.
Some pitching matchups today, huh? Kershaw, Gallardo. Wasn't Price and King Felix going at it in Detroit?
Yep. Hernandez has given up 2 runs in 5 innings. Price has given up a run in 5 2/3. And Castellanos homered off King Felix. The Mariners now one of the 2 wild card slots in the American League with the Angels.
They've been hot.
Stammen takes care of Locke. Hit batter didn't hurt. At least didn't hurt Stammen.
Outfield here at Nationals Park, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. Watch the catch that Travis Snider makes. It's a fantastic catch. But as he makes the dive in left field, you almost see, or not almost, you do see some dirt coming up right there. You see coming around his elbows, and look at the result of the dive from Snider. He's got a pretty good-sized scrape on the inside of his left elbow. And the Nationals, this is the first series of a homestand this weekend. And while they were gone last trip, the band One Direction had a concert, and it was held in center field on Monday night. Now, over 40,000 screaming kids jumping and screaming. They did quite a number on the grass in the outfield. Such a number that over 30,000 feet of sod had to be put down, as it was almost all mud by the time the show was over late Monday. Denard Span, the National center fielder, is about to bat right now, took an extensive walk through the area, through the center and left and right field areas earlier before yesterday's ball game. And they wanted to make sure he could run around without issue. Now, Span, early this season, had his foot caught in the outfield after they had a country concert. And he, a lot of people's opinions, is a team MVP right now. They want to make sure he's okay patrolling the outfield out there. So maybe that's why Travis Snider, a little worse for the wear. Greg, with your favorite band, One Direction. Concert last week.
No, Robbie. No. But Martina McBride's performing tonight. So I don't know how happy Span is about a concert here.
When they have concerts like that after ball games, there's a company that basically rolls the stage out and they play on wheeled platforms, as opposed to One Direction where they did a full setup, kind of like
they do at PNC Park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what happened there. So there's maybe a subtle difference that takes place in there, but still there could be some damage done. You never know.
Well, the Pirates had PNC Park had the big concert while the team was away a couple weeks ago, right? Jason Aldean.
Yeah.
And they had the big stage. Thankfully, the Pirates were away for, I think, another week after the concert took place. Manny Lopez and the Pirates grounds crew at PNC Park did a great job. Bounce to second. And one away.
Yeah, that's like turf burn that Snider has. You saw that all the time when you were sliding and diving on turf.
Part of the batter's eye, AstroTurf out there. That probably wasn't a lot of fun sliding on that, John, huh? Unless it was wet and rainy.
When it was, when it was wet and rainy, you took off.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hydroplane.
But how about
when it was
dry, hot sun?
Oh, yeah. You had a brush burn, and it would last forever. It wouldn't go away. I had a 3-day span. Or I think I did.
Diving stop. Alvarez gets up, throws to first, throws it high, and past Gabby Sanchez. Thankfully, it stays in play. First part of that play was spectacular, but Alvarez's throw pulls Gabby Sanchez off the bag.
Yeah, I tell you, he hasn't missed a beat with the glove, Pedro. He made a nice diving play last night as well. And going to his right, it took a high hop on him too. The throw obviously gets away from Gabby. And usually on those types of plays for Pedro, when he has to do everything real quick, he's pretty accurate.
Base hit, of course, for Rendon, or for Franzen. Rendon to the plate. Franzen robbed of a double, almost robbed of the hit. But Alvarez's throw again sails high. Bullpen gets the call. This is the third time through the order. Rendon has grounded out and struck out looking. Just missed. 2-1 on Rendon. Line toward left. Here comes Snyder. He's there.
You have to wonder from the Snyder when he took off. Boy, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah,
I don't want to slide on that bad arm.
The Pirates and GovX pleased to offer a ticket discount to all active duty, reserve, veteran, and retired service members and their families. Military members get up to $10 off select game tickets to any Sunday through Friday game this season. Get tickets at pirates.com/military or go to the Pirates PNC Park ticket windows. Here's Adam LaRoche. He struck out in the fourth inning, fouled out his first time up against the lefty lock. Strike one, fastball there. 3 infielders on the right side. Alvarez playing the shortstop position, with Franzen at first, 2 outs in the 6th. One ball and 1 strike. Nix playing onto the outfield grass. Harrison swung over to the right side. Two and 1. 3 lefty hitters against Locke. We talked about Gonzalez against the left-handed hitting Pirates as Hughes gets up. Span 0 for 3, LaRoche 0 for 2, Harper 0 for 2. 3 and 1 now.
LaRoche still a dangerous hitter. Certainly could make this a 1-run game with 1 swing of the bat.
214 this season against lefties, 2 of his 17 homers off southpaws. And he walked him. It's first and second. So with the dangerous Desmond coming to the plate, does Clint Hurdle pull Locke here? A very important part of this ball game where 1 swing now can tie it. Hughes up just a few moments ago.
My guess is he definitely didn't want to see that walk right there.
Yeah, that is it.
He definitely wanted to see a strike there to LaRoche.
Locke will end up going 5 2/3. That walk was the second of the night. And Mr. Fix-It will be racing in.
Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Jeff Locke, a better start certainly for him, so he can be encouraged by that. He would like to have gone at least 6 through under 90 pitches, but in this critical situation, pennant race, Jared Hughes comes on. Desmond takes ball 1.
And Clint Hurdle has so much confidence in Jared Hughes in these situations. 48th appearance, his first 47 appearances. He's inherited 27 runners. He's only allowed 4 to score.
Desmond with 20 homers, 72 RBIs, 5th highest total in the National League. Walked and singled against Locke. Chop toward third, foul. Two and two. Battle between Jared Hughes and Ian Desmond. Tops this ball, foul.
Good breaking ball there from Hughes. New weapon for him this year. And especially when that two-seamer, look at the location, right on that outside edge. The way he throws that two-seamer in on righties, and you get a good hard slider down and away. Pretty good combination.
Well, he could not hold on. Martin just in and out of his mitt.
Just got enough of it. Again, the two-seamer. Off the end of the glove.
Still 2 and 2 on Desmond. Line drive to the shortstop.
Adam ball.
Nationals lead 2. Mr. Fix-It gets it done again.
is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
It is 3-0. We're in Washington, on to the 7th inning. Josh Harrison, top of the Pirates batting order. Jared Hughes almost struck out Desmond. Just got a piece of a pitch, and then Desmond lined it to Josh Harrison. Harrison singled in the 3rd. Craig Stammen replacing Gio Gonzalez, who went 5. Popped up. Easy play for Harper. One up and one down. Now Gregory Polanco 0 for 3. Polanco hitless against Gio Gonzalez. Now 0 for his last 14 at bats is Polanco. Two and one.
Stammen staying away from Polanco. 2 seamers and 4 seamers. And a 2-seamer there. Doesn't take much time. Gets it, gets on the rubber.
It's a preview of what we'll see from tomorrow's starter Doug Fister. Yes, he did. Second strikeout for Stammen. The Pirates will recognize all youth and travel teams on their 2014 seasons. Coming up on Tuesday when the Pirates host the Braves. All teams get a $10 discount off outfield box and grandstand seats, and players that attend the game in their jerseys can stay after the ball game and run the bases. For tickets, go to pirates.com/youthbaseball. Three with the Braves coming up starting Monday night at PNC Park. Braves leading the A's 3-2, bottom of the 6th in Atlanta. Cardinals have taken a 5-4 lead in St. Louis in the bottom of the 5th inning over San Diego. Pirates trying to even this series. Over the mound, second baseman Espinosa throws out Russell Martin. wild shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo to the sounds of a day to remember. They will be performing at the Stage AE on September the 4th. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Washington, D.C. The Pirates leading 3-0. Jason Nix moves to third, defensive replacement for Pedro Alvarez, and Neil Walker is now at second base, with Nix moving over to third base. Bucks need 9 more outs. A very important game, important series as the schedule turns toward the contenders. And the first pitch hits Harper on the foot.
Well, he got one off the right foot. He fouled one off the right foot in last night's game. Hobbled for a bit. And now he gets one off the right foot. Did you guys mention last night that you see the breaking ball right off the toe? No trainers for Harper?
We did talk about that.
I thought it was hilarious.
We talked about it too with Clint Hurdle before the game. Tom Singer of Pirates.com asked Clint Hurdle if he felt like in this day and age more players are hitting foul balls off their foot and ankle than they were back in his day. And maybe the reason behind it, Clint Hurdle talked about how it used to be with 2 strikes. You'd go to see the 2-strike approach, wider stance, choke up on the bat. And then I said, did the trainer always run out after a ball was fouled? He said, you usually had about a 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, and you were told to get back in the box. That's right. That's what you had back then. But it does seem like almost all the time a foul ball comes. There's a bouncer back to Hughes. He throws and gets one and on to first for a double play.
That's a huge double play right there. And again, a nice lack of effort from Ramos getting down the line. So they got plenty of time.
Walker could easily step off the bag.
Harper coming in. Harper could have came in, taken Neil Walker out. Neil could have gone up and still thrown Ramos out. Easy breezy.
No, it's possible that we don't know. Maybe Ramos has been hurting. I don't know. But I do know this. If he's not hurt, then what's the difference between that and what Bryce Harper did earlier this year to get him benched? There's a liner towards center. Marte comes in and takes it away. Oh, Marte giving the DC fans a party with that play.
Throw that leather. Some nice defense by the Pirates outfield here tonight. Can't teach speed.
Majority of the time in the minor leagues, that is the center field position, and Espinosa, who lined this ball to center, figure he had a hit.
I think everybody in the ballpark thought he had a hit. And Marte with a terrific jump, a very aggressive effort. If it's a one-run game, not so sure you want that. I mean, you might just sit back and let it drop in and give up the 2-out single. But you're up 3. Let it all out.
12 straight games he's played center, and he really likes this. He loves being in center field. He really wants, he wants to be great. He wants to show his teammates and Pirate fans that he can be a big part of the offense. Bounces this ball to the shortstop, Desmond. Stamina's done a nice job. Tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Clint Barmas played his second game for Altoona. 0 for 3 on Thursday. And a second rehab game tonight. Had a couple of hits, played 5 innings. Figures to move up to AAA Indy early next week. And should rejoin the Pirates before too long. Jordy Mercer probably going to miss tomorrow as well with that sore right forearm. He was taking ground balls at shortstop during BP, but was not throwing the ball. Last night he pinch hit and bunted a couple of times. Gabby Sanchez at the plate. Mercer seemed very optimistic yesterday in the clubhouse when we talked to him that it was not ligament damage, and that hopefully he'd be back in the lineup maybe Monday when the Pirates host the Atlanta Braves. And there's a guy who hopes to be back Tuesday, Andrew McCutchen. Gabby Sanchez has himself a night. 4 outstanding at bats from Gabby Sanchez. He is 3 for 4.
Yeah, that's big. Anytime you get your role guys, your role players into the lineup, and they can come up with not only base hits but big RBI base hits, and that was a big one he had back there in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, base hit that drove in 2.
He had a 4-hit game back in May. So this is the 2nd game of the season that he's had at least 3 hits. Tony Watson getting ready for the 8th. Neil Walker's first at bat tonight. Walker back in the starting lineup last night. His second at bat against Tanner Roark. He doubled to right. He was making his first start since August the 5th. Roark got the win.
Well, Gabby was thinking about it. He was shuffling off a little bit there at first base.
Hit hard. Nice pick by LaRoche. Those soft hands turns that into a double play.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play, but it doesn't make Neil Walker happy. He thinks that's at least a base hit, maybe 2.
Adam LaRoche, as good as it gets with that glove over there.
play, and especially as a relief pitcher. I mean, that's the situation you want to be in, and to do well in that situation is just a plus.
Don't miss more from Stan Belinda, along with Jay Bell, Rich Donnelly, Bob Walk, and Jim Leland, recalling Game 4 of the Pirates' 1991 NLCS against the Braves. On the next Root Sports Classics, hear their stories while reliving the Pirates' defeat the Braves in extra innings to even the series on Bucks Chop Down Braves. Pirates 1991 NLCS Game 4, Thursday at 6:30 on Root Sports. And again, those Braves are coming to Pittsburgh for a 3-game series starting on Monday night at PNC Park. Michael Taylor pinch hitting against Tony Watson. Ball 1.
Great numbers for Watson. Just a 1.40 ERA. Bunch of strikeouts.
Two 2-0. Adam LaRoche, that fine play, turning that hard hit ball into a double play and keeping the deficit for the Nats at 3. Taylor recently called up to the big leagues. 14 at bats, 2 hits. One of those his first major league home run.
Well,
that's for Stammen.
That's a big play for LaRoche, by the way. I mean, that, 3-run game, you feel pretty comfortable with that, but that gets through. It's at least first and third, maybe second and third. Just one out. The Pirates had a chance to perhaps blow it open.
Pirates have made some defensive plays here tonight as well. Travis Snyder in left and Starling Marte in center in particular. Snyder robbed Harper in the 5th.
I think it looked like a pretty good pitch, a good breaking ball. Just missed where Martin was set up, and because he had to reach in that way, he doesn't get the call.
Leadoff walk. Tony Watson has been very busy. He has pitched in 9 of the last 15 ball games for the Pirates. It's the other thing about John Axford. If Axford can be anything like he was second half of last year with the Cardinals and most of this season with Cleveland, maybe he can take some of the load off the late inning guys. Saw Axford make his Pirates debut last night and pitched a scoreless inning.
Well, he looked sharp too. He threw in a couple nasty breaking balls. Velocity in the mid-90s.
Watson has now pitched in 59 games. Only 2 other pitchers in the National League have pitched in more games. Will Smith of the Brewers has pitched in 63, and the Diamondbacks' Brad Ziegler has thrown in 62 games. Ball 1 strike. Span was 0 for 3 against Locke. Now 1-2 on Span. On deck, Kevin Franzen, a right-handed hitter.
Typically see Watson miss out of the zone by that much. Always right on those edges. Great control with all three of his pitches. Tried to get the chase. Span able to lay off.
Big pitch here, 2-2. Bounce toward first and through. It's first and third. A walk and a base hit, and the Nats in business in the 8th.
And you never know what would happen. You know, you hate the walks, especially when you have the lead, the 2-3 run lead. You never like walking guys, especially leadoff guys. But not only after the walk, you got to give up that big hole on the right side. And Span able to get a fastball and just dribble it through that hole. Not hit all that hard, but had a lot of room. And now the Nats are set up nicely here in the 8th.
Franzen a couple of hits, 3 at bats. Little flare, that's going to drop in. 3-1. Loop single to right for Franzen.
And this is just bad luck. Change up, cue shot off the very end of the bat.
A walk, back-to-back hits, and still nobody out. And here's Anthony Rendon. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Franzen is 13th RBI of the season, limited starts.
Expect Watson to continue to pound Rendon in. He has a hard time getting it out there, especially against decent velocity. And Tony Watson obviously has good fastball, 94, 95 miles per hour. And Jeff Locke stayed in there on him. He couldn't do a whole lot about it. Now Watson with 2 fastballs in there to get ahead.
Hitting coach for the Nats is Rick Shue. He's standing up there in the back. Oh, 2 on Rendon.
And there again.
95 fouled off. Another 0-2 pitch due to Rendon. Ground ball short. Harrison. There's one. On to first. Double play. Twin killing. 2 outs in the 8th.
That is big right there. They just stayed in there, and there was nothing that Rendon could do about it. You're able to get the barrel out there a little bit, but tied up. Taylor made double play. Harrison to Walker. Those are two big outs.
Now Span at third with 2 down, and here is Adam LaRoche, 0 for 2 with a walk.
Wow, breaking ball, pretty good location, right where Martin wanted it. Somehow LaRoche stays off. Now this guy can get to a fastball, and you don't want to give anything. He can drive out of the park, but you see that breaking ball just off the plate, but pretty good pitch recognition from LaRoche.
Deep to right, Polanco back toward the wall. Gone. Tie game.
Can't believe we went in.
2-run homer for Adam LaRoche has tied the game at 3.
Well, very surprised we went inside.
His 18th. Just his 3rd off a lefty.
Just high enough. I mean, he's looking dead red fastball. That's the only thing on his mind, is to get something he could pull in the air. Very surprised that we went in there.
First home run by a left-handed hitter off Watson this season. And a curtain call for LaRoche.
And it just had enough height. I was just hoping it would hit off the top of the wall.
Well, they had Walker played behind second and a throw to first, so Tony Watson gives up 3 to tie it on to the 9th. First 2 months in the big leagues. Plus, we'll visit the Pirates Fantasy Camp held at the Miracle League Field in Wheeling, West Virginia, where some local kids were treated like big leaguers. Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, tonight after postgame on Root Sports. Adam LaRoche, a 2-run homer, line drive home run off Tony Watson. That is the first homer Watson has allowed to a left-handed batter since June 13, 2012. Chris Davis of the Orioles homered off Watson. And the LaRoche home run, just the 4th of Watson's career. And he's given up to a left-handed batter. New game, 3-all, 9th inning.
He's been so good, so dominant. Righties and lefties. Now the Pirates will be up against Matt Thornton.
And what a pickup this has been.
Yeah.
A veteran, hard-throwing lefty, claimed off waivers 11 days ago from the Yankees.
Get it up there.
Mike Rizzo claimed Thornton off of waivers. GM of these Washington Nationals. Nick's 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch. Pops this one up toward right. Harper can't make the catch. Heck of an effort.
Yeah, he was there. He just clanked off the glove. Showing pretty good speed. Knows where he is. Goes into the slide. Off the outside of his glove.
One ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3.
Thornton get a call? Yep, a little bit. Jeff Locke was getting that pitch earlier in the game.
Thornton will turn 38 years old next month. Strikes out Jason Nix. Now Snyder. Michael Martinez out on deck. 0-1 on Snyder. Snyder 1 for 3, infield hit in the 4th. Gonzalez off the hook. Locke won't get a W.
Pretty good rip there from Snyder. Fastball at 97.
Justin Wilson up in the Pirates bullpen. Strikes out. Nix looking. Snyder swinging. Nissan Road ahead. Tomorrow, coverage begins at 4:30. An odd 5:05 first pitch start time. Doug Fister is 12-3. He'll be opposed by Edinson Volquez, who is 10-7 for the Pirates. Edinson Volquez hoping that tomorrow's start will be the rubber match of the 3-game series. And boy, after Watson got that double play ball from Rendon, things were looking very promising to get out of the inning. Then Adam LaRoche, a line drive home run, his 18th of the season, his 3rd off a lefty.
If that wall was a foot higher, probably doesn't go out. Just enough distance.
Routed to second. Thornton has a 1-2-3 top of the 9th. Bryce Harper will be leading off the bottom of the 9th. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Hopefully looking forward to extra innings. That's what the Pirates need now. They need Justin Wilson to put a 0 up in the bottom of the ninth. Pirates were leading 3-0. They scored 3 in the third. Adam LaRoche, after Franzen hit that blooper to right, brought in a run. Rendon hit into the double play, and then LaRoche homered. Here's Justin Wilson. Ball 1. Strike. Justin Wilson. Harper walked it off against the Mets the other day.
He's got some pop to all fields.
Wilson pitched a scoreless 6th inning last night. Watson pitched a 1-2-3 7th inning last night, but tonight a 3 spot to tie it. Then he falls behind 3-1.
That's how that last inning started. Taylor, who I think has looked a little overmatched, at least last night. The youngster spent most of the year in Double-A, ends up leading off that 8th with a walk. You don't want to do that again here.
Harper drops the bat, heads to first. It's 3-2.
See if it hits the top of the zone. That ball looked up, a little bit up. Harper.
They did ask for an appeal. Well, either way.
No, home plate umpire Mark Wegner called it a strike.
And they walked him. They got the gift. Ended up walking him anyway. Now Wilson Ramos, 1 for 3, hit into a double play in the 7th.
Justin Wilson has been so good of late. The control spot on. He's only allowed 1 hit in his last 5 appearances.
Ramos has hit into 3 double play and 7 at bats in the 2 games against the Pirates, though Wilson not the guy necessarily that you think about inducing ground balls. Up at second base, and he was not careful. Martin not careful. He'll take off a third, and he's just daring Martin right now.
Justin Wilson is he looks so good with his command his last several outings, and that's a cutter I believe. It bounces out in front of the plate. There's nothing Russell Martin can do. I mean, it's hard enough to block breaking balls, let alone fastballs.
Nobody out. Ramos fouls it away off to the right. That's what they call it here. An attitude. And out of play. One ball, two strikes on Ramos. To right field, Polanco back. Still going back, and he misplays it. And that's the ball game. It's a double, and the Nationals win it.
Amazing difference a year makes. Never did we see this last year. The Pirates had a lead, the game was over. And too many times this year, in different ways, the Pirates have let them slip away. And the outfield just came in with, after the wild pitch. They were playing no doubles. The wild pitch gets Harper to second, so then they had to come in and play regular depth. And Ramos gets a pitch up out over the plate and hits it about where Polanco was. And 2 strikes, the location misses badly. It's supposed to be in, almost off the plate away. And Polanco can't catch up to it.
Bounces over the wall for the double. Thornton gets his first win for Washington, and Wilson suffers his 3rd loss. Tony Watson gives up 3 in the 8th, and Wilson not able to get an out in the 9th. So the Nationals win the first 2 games of the series, and the Pirates have now lost 4 straight, while the Nationals win their 5th in a row. Go back to the studio. Paul Alexander and Ken Maka.